What should tourists never do in your country? If you ask someone in Norway how they are doing, we will give an actual answer. In Poland we will say not that good or you know, in a miserable voice, most of the time. Have their windows rolled down. In Tijuana especially, you'll be guilted into buying so many freaking churros. You'll be guilted into buying so many freaking churros. Got it? Keep windows rolled down while visiting Tijuana. New England. Don't go see Plymouth Rock. It's just a freaking rock. It doesn't look special in any way, and it might even be the wrong one. It's a regular rock in a state completely covered in rocks. You want rocks? We've got some freaking rocks for you, man. It's in a cage. It's like a pet rock. Go on a hike unarmed when visiting the Svalbard archipelago here in Norway. You are required to always have a firearm with you to protect against polar bears when traveling outside the populated areas. Mexico City. Don't. 1. Take a cab before making sure it has a visible sign with the driver's odometer. Also, you might want to turn on your GPS and let the driver know so he won't drive you around in circles. 2. Get on the subway with your wallet on your back pocket. This also applies for the Metrobus. 3. If you're interested in visiting the pyramids, you should hire a tour available on the internet and make sure it includes the entry ticket. If you book it at the hotel, it's very probable the receptionist or the hotel itself is charging you as much as double for making the reservation for you. 4. If you want to go partying, ask the front desk or look up the internet for nice places. There's a couple no-go places areas that rip off tourists. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm a front desk manager in a busy downtown hotel. Used the GPS one just last week in Istanbul. Pulled him into line before he got too far. South Africa. Wearing khakis and hiking boots screams tourist. It makes you a target for criminals, and that sweet camera you bought for your trip is going to find a new home. And besides, if your trip is going to involve hiking of any kind, S&R would prefer you wore bright clothes so it makes your butt easier to find if you get lost. If you are going on a game drive, no one here calls it a safari. Keep your doors locked and windows rolled up. Otherwise, enjoy being Simba's lunch. Respect the wildlife. They are wild animals and have no qualms about killing you. Bring or smuggling drugs. Crap can get you hanged to death in Malaysia. As opposed to just being hanged enough to teach us a lesson. Walk in the bicycle lanes. It's the freaking worst when they try to cross one, see a biker coming, and instead of quickly scooting across they start to contemplate whether going back or going forward is the best option. Don't just walk up to a kangaroo and pat it in the wild. Those suckers will kick the crap out of you. I'm looking at you, Japanese. Or try and approach an emu. They will frick you up. I know we are known for our sheep in New Zealand, but I wouldn't recommend trying to start a relationship with one. That's right, all the sheep are already spoken for. Don't be stupid. Don't do the Hitler salute. Don't say Sieg Heil. Singapore. Don't ever go to Sim Lim Square or Lucky Plaza to buy electronics. No matter how good the prices seem, you will get screwed. Britain. Don't speak like you grew up in the East End. We know you didn't. I do what I want. Costa Rica. Drive. You just don't want to. People here drive like idiots. If you come from any semi-decent place, driving is gonna be an unpredictable nightmare. Tip. Unless you're on a fancy hotel which caters to foreigners, it's just not on the culture. Unlike Japan, where people get offended or whatever, people don't have a concept of tipping. You're just gonna confuse your waiter. Say you don't like soccer. I don't, but saying it is a mistake. Probably relevant to a lot of places, but I'm specifically talking about Australia. Don't show up and assume that because you know how to swim you can swim in the ocean, even if other people are doing it. Even if you can swim, the ocean can and will still frick you up. Learn to spot a rip, read any signs in the area, and if there are lifeguards, listen to what they are saying and swim between the flags. If you're between the flags, you'll pretty much be safe as you can be. If you are on a patrolled beach and get into trouble, the lifeguards are there to help you out. If you decide to swim out at an unpatrolled beach and something bad happens, you're on your own, so just be careful. Having said that, if everyone did this there would probably be no Bondi Rescue, and I love that show, so keep on keeping on it now. For Asians, Do keep bringing in suitcases full of food without declaring it. It is my favorite part of border security. Australia. Jamaica. Take a public taxi, unless you wanna know what NFS most wanted feels like. I roll. Edit. I've been in taxis and legit seen people pay the driver in weed. Yes, marijuana lol. Depends on the area you're in though. First Reddit post BTW. D. Reminds of that time when I grew up in Jamaica. Me and my dad took a taxi. Our driver got out to use the bathroom. Random guy came in and started driving us to where we needed. Took me a while to realize he stole the taxi and I guess decided to live his dream as a taxi driver. We still paid him. Edit. Wow. First time getting gold. Shout out to all the stolen taxis. He looked at them. Strip for a photo on top of a sacred mountain. Number 1 cause of natural disasters. Eat a kiwi. Those birds are endangered. Kiwi fruit are fair game though. Till people from New Zealand are birds. Order the bar a round of Irish car bombs. Poland. Maybe not never, but be cautious while getting a cab at the airport train stations. Most of the guys will try to rip foreigners off. Also, never leave our country without trying traditional Polish cuisine, because it's awesome. I recommend some pierogi, bigos, zurek and zapikanka. Also krupnik, zabrowka, wisniowka and zolotus. Ask people if they're Catholic or Protestant. Sweden. Sit next to a local on the bus. Sweden. Sit next to anyone anywhere. FTFY. Do not make eye contact on the tube. Try not to talk. If possible, sit stand still, look miserable, and contemplate the futility of existence. The awkward moment you look out the window to avoid eye contact and then you make eye contact with the other person's reflection. America. Plan too much. If you wanna see the Statue of Liberty, the Smithsonian, the Alamo, and the Grand Canyon, you're going to spend all of your time driving. Pick a specific area, and do everything you can in there. I say do whatever you want, land of the free. In Australia, say mate unless you have had intensive lessons on correct usage. You will be forgiven because you will have an accent, but bear in mind that mate has probably 7 or 8 connotations and they go all the way from very friendly to very unfriendly. Listen, mate equals you done fricked up. Visit. I'm from El Salvador. Just go to another country. Anywhere really. Complain about the price of booze. I know it's too freaking high and it sucks for me too. Never try to assassinate the Archduke. That can start a lot of trouble. Gavrilo Princip stops for a sandwich. You won't believe who he sees driving by. Canada. Put ketchup on your poutine. Punishable to up to 5 years in prison, or 3 months in rural Saskatchewan. Say you don't like hockey. Typical Kenyan. Not say hello back to me. You answer me, you mother. I just want to be friends. When there is a campfire ban posted, take that crap seriously. Don't ignore that crap. Makes me so mad. Also, if there is a ban on bringing in firewood from outside the area, just follow the rule. There are insects from other areas that can destroy our trees and we don't want them here. America, specifically Arizona. Do not eat oleanders, or anything that's touched their sap. In fact, just don't touch them at all. They're crazy poisonous, but they look so green and pretty that we plant them goddamn everywhere. I'm not joking. They line the sides of the roads. They're in people's yards, and we even plant them in grade school playgrounds. We're crazy like that. Do not drive in a dust storm. For God's sake, pull over, put your hazards on, and wait it out. Don't just drive blind and hope you don't hit anyone. On a similar note, if you come during our brief rainy season, be prepared for us to freak the frick out and drive like madmen all over the road, the wrong side of the road, anything. Because apparently water coming from the sky means it's time for the rapture. The Grand Canyon isn't conveniently located next to anything. Sorry, downtown Phoenix Jedi Handwav, this is not the downtown you are looking for. Seriously, it's all bank offices and bars that close at, no lie, 9 PM. If you're going to be driving through the desert at some point, it's 3 gallons of water per person, minimum. And if your car breaks down, For God's sake stay near it. Search and rescue helicopters can spot your vehicle long before they'll see you. Most of Phoenix is safe enough during the day, but there are parts that you don't go into at night if you're wearing the wrong colors. I've lived around Phoenix my whole life and I couldn't tell you precisely where. Just stay the frick out of South Phoenix at night altogether. That's my advice. Don't come during July. Dear God, are you a masochist? The part about the rain had me in tears. This is an incredibly accurate description of 99% of Arizonans during monsoon season. Britain, do not antagonize the Queen's Guard. They are well within their rights to lay hands on you if you provoke them. Iceland, don't try to do stuff with us. Iceland, icier people. Attempt to assassinate the president. Also Q jump. Take a dump on the streets, just please don't. I thought the litter and take a dump together would be HK, has to be HK. Denmark, don't freaking walk out of the bus without looking both ways. There is an actual bike path between the pavement and the road at almost all bus stops. This means that if you just walk out of the bus once you reach your stop, you will get hit by a person on a steel contraption, moving at a very dangerous speed. It can get bloody, expensive and very embarrassing. This same thing applies when you need to get onto a bus. Don't just walk up to it and hop it, look both ways before you cross the bike path. Oh, and don't be flamboyant in Jamaica if you value your life. Yell, scream, or talk loudly. This is absolutely not done in Japan and you are a barbarian for doing it in public. Ask people about the panty vending machine. It doesn't exist, and everyone will think you are a creep for asking. Antagonize the police. These guys are not Western police. They mostly exist to give directions to people like you and help old women cross streets. So be nice to them. Get huffy about waiting in line. Anything remotely new or popular in Japan will have a line around the block. So wait like a champ and make quiet small talk for the 2 hours you're in line. Forget your GPS enabled device. The address scheme here is labyrinthine, and without some kind of GPS map you will be relying on an archipelago of police boxes to guide you to your destination. This is changing, but eat on the street. Kid with an ice cream cone? Cute. You're stuffing a kebab in your stupid hungover face? Horrifying. The exception to this is fireworks season and cherry blossom viewing. Then you are expected to pig out and get fall down drunk at 11 AM. Make a huge mess, and not clean up after yourself. Also don't ask for takeout or a doggy bag. A lot of places will look at you like you asked to rape their dog. Detonating a nuclear weapon in Chico, California. The city will charge you a $500 fine for doing so, and they're pretty strict about enforcing it. Australia, don't go to our beaches without first applying sunscreen. Wear clothes and polarized sunglasses. We have the highest rate of skin cancer in the world due to extreme UV during summer. Also don't go swimming in your clothes at a beach. You'll drown. And swim between the goddamn red and yellow flags. In America, stop yelling. Stop cutting in line. Stop blocking the sidewalk by standing or walking side by side too slowly. I'm looking at you, Chinese tourists. And their giant groups. In the United States, if you are visiting a national park, stay the frick away from the wildlife, especially the bigger animals. Rare elephant strawberry like for good luck, ignore for 11 years of bad luck. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video.